Welcome to the HMG Executive Leadership Spotlight, where we showcase the best global business technology executives inspiring trust and winning in a global digital economy. And now here's our host, Hunter Muller.
Hello and welcome to the HMG Spotlight. I'm Hunter Muller, founder and CEO of HMG Strategy. I'm here with Ravi Malick. Ravi's the Senior Vice President and Global CIO of Box. Ravi, congratulations for being a 2024 HMG Global Leadership Institute CIO of the Year.
Thank you, Hunter. Very humbled and honored to be the recipient, to even be in consideration for the award, much less be the recipient of it. Much appreciated, and really, I think it's a reflection of the team and those that really are the ones that are getting the work done.
Great insights. It's really all about the team and a high-performing one at that. When you think of global visionary leadership, what comes to mind?
The world today is changing rapidly, whether it's from a technology perspective, it's a cyber threat perspective, a global economy perspective, and I think it's a matter of understanding, how do you tie these things into the business? How does it influence and affect the technology strategy? And the people that are working with you. And I think it's really about taking the time and the opportunity to zoom out, get the full picture, and understand the connections.
Ravi, I love that answer. That's a brilliant answer. Great insights. Talk to us a little bit more about your leadership style.
I think for my leadership style, I starting with pragmatic, starting with communicative, collaborative. Be willing to do what you're asking of your people to do, right? I think that's support. Leading from the rear, but also being, at the front in leading the charge, right? And providing the air cover. I've always felt that my job is to make everybody else's jobs easier. My job is to make sure the team is positioned for success.
So that's the organization, the business, and your team. Talk to us about C-suite engagement and CEO engagement.
One of the great things about the CIO role, Hunter, is it's one of the few roles that you have to understand every part of the business. You have to know how finance works. You have to know how customer service works. You have to know how sales works, right? And so engagement is that's probably the understatement of the year for the CIO role. Like, you are constantly having to engage, right? Constantly working with the C-suite to make sure that you're aligned with what the business objectives are, constantly getting that feedback.
And then poking in there a little bit further, how do you know you really have a world-class relationship with your CEO, your CFO, and your CFO? What does it look like, feel like, and what's the give and take?
I think it's about providing the right information and communicating the right information at the right time. I am keeping issues and keeping things that they don't need to think about off of their plate, so they can focus on what is most important to the business. I view as a critical aspect of my job and my relationship with them.
I love your strategic context, thinking about the customer and the market, current markets and future markets, and 1, 3, 5 years out, right? Because we're living in highly innovative, highly disruptive times. How would you characterize the general market in terms of innovation and disruption and cyber?
It feels like innovation is back at the forefront, and CIOs and technology leaders are talking about, like, how am I going to use this technology to create growth, right? To drive growth, or even maybe create new channels. So it's extremely exciting, but at the same time, technology continues to be democratized. Everybody has access to this, right? So you've got to find the right balance, right, and manage the risk, because the cyber threats are ever present.
Ravi, talk to us about building a world-class team. How do you ensure that you're a talent magnet out there in the market and you attract and retain and grow true winners, world-class executives?
I think it starts kind of with understanding oneself and what strengths and weaknesses are there. So I'm always trying to hire people that complement my strengths but compensate for my weaknesses. One, I've always tried to hire people that I think are smarter than me, and can bring more to the table, but also hire people that can compensate for the weaknesses that I know that I'm not good at. And then from that point forward, focusing on development. This is massively important that people are at the top of my list every time. And how are we developing them? I'm a big proponent of promoting internally. We're going to move them up. We're going to challenge them. We're going to stretch them at times, but give them the support and tools that they need to be successful.
Interesting. That's an HMG moment, Ravi. Great answer, brilliant answer. Following up on that, how do you know you have the right person in the right position and they're truly performing at a high level?
I've always been very outcome oriented. All right. And I think there's always the objective aspect, right? And I try and make the measurement of performance and success as objective as possible. But I also realize there's subjectiveness to it as well. And so being able to define very clearly what the objectives are and being able to measure the person against it, but then also balancing the subjective part, right? Talking to other people, getting feedback from others and how that person works and leads and interacts with others. I think when you have the wrong person in the role, it's about how do you get to the decision as to, okay, maybe this isn't the right role for them and there's a better role in the organization, or, in some cases, it's better to part ways.
Talk to us about your partnership strategy and how you know a partnership truly is working.
Great question. I love that question because I've always viewed partners as an extension of the team, particularly our strategic partners, right? Like understanding what is strategic, right? Where are the big levers? What are the key cogs that are part of your team and part of your tech stack is incredibly important. And making sure that you are focusing on the items, the partners, the vendors that are going to help you achieve that strategy. It is a relationship about progress, and shared success, not a transaction.
Ravi, amazing insights, perfect answer. I loved it. Hey, working for a visionary CEO like Aaron, what is it like trying to keep up with such an amazing global visionary leader?
First off, I think I stopped trying to keep up with Aaron and his ability to manage an astounding number of items at one time. I think it's what I've tried to do is make sure that I'm focused on the priorities that are going to have the greatest impact and the greatest benefit to the business.
Ravi, great to be with you. Excellent, awesome interview. Congratulations on being a 2024 HMG Global Leadership Institute CIO of the Year. Congratulations.
Thank you again. Much appreciated.
We hope you found this episode of HMG's Executive Leadership Spotlight beneficial. The HMG Global Network, a network of 400,000 technology leaders and a media platform that delivers more than 1 million impressions per week, is a valuable source of insight, continuous learning, and peer-to-peer research based on the insights and experiences of world-class, top-tier technology executives. Leverage the HMG network. Go to hmgstrategy.com to find out more.